Tell the audience a bit about yourself, like what type of anything about yourself, like what's your major, what you do.
Okay, so I'm a second year, or I'm going to start my second year next year, and I am hopefully I can major in international relations. I'm not sure what else I can really say. I like photography, and I have about 5 blogs.
When did you start blogging, and when did you realize you wanted to become a blogger?
I started blogging about in grade 12, I think around the month of January, November to January, one of those 3 months.
Okay.
And at first it was just a photography blog, so I would type in a few words, and then mostly it'd just be a bunch of pictures I would upload online, and that was pretty much the start of it. And then my friend convinced me to join the UBC Blog Squad when I got accepted to UBC, and that pretty much started all the other blogs I have now.
I know this question may or may not relate to you, but are you a political blogger? If yes, how so? If no, why?
Not so much, just because I have never had an interest in politics up until lately, and when I do talk about it, which is very, very rarely, it's usually just my opinion on something and not so much the issues.
So, what do you usually write about? Is it constrained based on who the readers are?
For starters, I have no idea who my readers are, and when I get comments on the blog, it's just like, okay, they're just an average Joe reading my blog, right? And yeah, in that sense, I usually just try and write whatever I want, and usually what I write about is just my opinions on things I notice, whatever photos I just happen to have taken and upload those.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, I try and sound funny, but usually when I read it, I think I sound like an idiot. But hey, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. The views change according to the comments that readers make?
Depends on which blog you're talking about.
Any blog you can remember, any comment that you remember and you found you had to write according to it or something? Anything like that?
Not so much. I mean, I have one blog, which is a photography blog. It's a separate project I started working on when I got here to got to UBC. I take 10 photos of 10 different people each day.
Wow.
And then I upload those on the blog, and then people kind of just go through those and then see 10 different people who go to UBC. And the comments I get on that are usually just more of a feeling of connectedness, if that's even a word.
That's cool.
With students at UBC, and when I get those comments, I try and take pictures that show more of the person. And then other blogs where it's just mostly writing, then I usually get comments about, yeah, I agree or disagree, which is not really that often, but sometimes it's just, I noticed this too, I noticed that as well. Other times, like, I just really like her photos, I'm like, okay, I'll just do more photos, and hopefully I can sound interesting at some point.
You mentioned 5 blogs.
Oh god.
Just like a little short description what each blog is. Are they all photography blogs?
They all have a mix of photography in there. The first blog I started was a total photography blog, so any picture I took that I liked, I would upload it onto that. The second blog I started was more of a kind of journal thing. I didn't really publicize that one so much.
Okay.
I actually haven't written in that blog in quite a while because I started writing an actual journal, which is a lot more convenient I find because if I'm sitting outside without a computer, I can just start writing down something I think of. Because the problem I have a lot is I think of something and I think, oh, I'm gonna go blog that tonight, and then when I go home, I realize I don't even know what I just remembered. I don't even know what I was thinking. I can't even remember what it was. The third blog was probably the UBC Blog Squad blog, which I co-wrote with Jeff, but he didn't really do much afterwards. He actually started a separate blog, but that one was just more of a general idea of what I was doing at UBC, things I was doing, odd things I noticed about UBC. I would post shots of UBC campus that I took at night.
Okay.
The fourth blog would have to be the fourth blog and the third blog would have been started about around the same time. The fourth blog would just be my UBC portraits blog, which currently I'm not working on, but just because it's summer.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I'm working on it until I graduate, so it's gonna be a heck of a lot of pictures. So that one is the one where I take 10 portraits of 10 different that's had a fair number of hits in a couple months, which I am actually quite surprised with. The fifth one, what is the fifth one? I can't remember what that one is.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. So,
Okay.
thank you.
No
Thank you so much.
No problem.
So, any last comments, tips you'd like to provide for new bloggers or any other type of bloggers?
Ooh, well, I'm not a huge blogger, right? So,
That's cool. Oh well, I guess what did you learn from it that you feel others should not make mistakes? To say.
just go with something you like to write about. I mean, if you
Mhm.
write about something that you're not interested in and you think other people are interested in, then usually it's not going to sound very good, and then people are going to think you're an idiot, most likely. Yeah, I mean, I'm mostly a photographer. I upload photos most of the time, and then that's how I blog half the time.
Okay.
And, yeah.